Hello, and welcome back to Heaven Will Be Mine. So, we finished a route with Lunaterra. There doesn't seem to be any indication in the UI that we've done that, so I don't think there's an actual direct representation to say, oh, you have made like, there are games where getting an ending unlocks or affects future playthroughs of the game, but I don't think that's the case here. As far as I can tell, the game is the game. And it's more about having more context when you go back. As I said, I think I'm gonna do Saturn's playthrough. We'll see how much repeats, what's new, etc. Because I am curious about getting more of Saturn's character's backstory. And I'm probably going to... I don't quite know how this is actually going to play out now that I think about it, but my intention was to basically go for the same ending again. But I guess I'll treat the choices as more of an actual choice this time, because I will no longer just be like, I just don't agree with the faction I'm supposed to be loyal to, so... Oh, and one note, I mentioned this many episodes ago, but I did finally look up the ship self-names, or the self-ship names, and not just for the main characters. These all refer to geological features of the associated celestial body. So, Mercuricium is the thing on the moon, the string of pearls is the name of something on Saturn, Macula is something that's on Pluto, and the same for other ship selves that come up during the game. Self-ships. It's funny that it's self-ship and not ship self. I would have assumed it was the other way around, now that I think about it. Anyway, let's start off. Welcome, Provisional Test Pilot Saturn. Your clearance is level 1. Testing and maintenance. Warning, potential damage to cockpit hardware detected. Warning, modifying or tampering with cockpit hardware and or firmware is strictly prohibited. Alright, so we have a new character already. Mercury. Saturn, what are you doing? Notice, bypass override accepted. Notice, launch attempt blocked. No handshake with base. Oh, hey, Mercury. Not much. Warning, launch attempt blocked. Base handshake spoof detected. Just hacking the OS root of this ship self. You? Base handshake 224 percentage at close bracket, open bracket, exclamation mark, $1, 2, open bracket, exclamation point, dollar, at, F, exclamation mark, open bracket. Base handshake accepted. Trying to stop some brat from hijacking the prototype, apparently. Notice, emergency launch override initiated. Prepare for launch in T-120 seconds. Calm down, Mercury, I'm just borrowing it. I am not debating. I am trying to save your life. The commander will be furious, and he won't just accept you stealing the Cornerstone project from the designated pilot. It's not a big deal. I'll have it back before you know it. This is privileged information, but the designated pilot has to launch right this second to get the machine back to Earth before they get here. This is the worst possible time. It couldn't be worse if you'd planned it. Everyone in the system suddenly somehow knows this base's location and they're heading here now. Notice, user launch override blocked. Denied by base. Oh, wow. Weird. How did that happen? User launch override blocked. Denied by base. User launch override blocked. Denied by base. You planned it, didn't you? You forgot an apostrophe. Base override remote shutdown in 30 seconds. No one can prove anything, especially not the designated pilot unconscious in locker 27. Whoops, looks like they're trying to kick me out, huh? Saturn, I know you're mad, but you can't do this when they catch you. It's going to be so... You can't do this. When they catch you, it's going to be so bad. Can you just please act like you're pranking them? There's still time. I will beg them. Oh, such a worry word. You've got hours to evacuate to the capital ship. They'll never engage you this far from base, and I'll be distracting them. I have it all figured out. Except for how you're going to do anything at all to accomplish that with everyone trying to kill you? Notice base override remote shutdown in 20 seconds. Saturn, try to have a little faith. Notice base override remote shutdown in 15 seconds. Saturn, calm down, jeez. It doesn't take a genius to drive one of these things to the moon. Who cares which one of us does it? Or do you think I can't? Notice base override remote shutdown in 10 seconds. That is not the issue. The commander cares, and you know better than anyone what he's like. Notice base override remote shutdown in 9 seconds. Wow, Mercury talks fast. Iapetus will just have to get used to it, lol. Notice base override remote shutdown in 8 seconds. Saturn, what are you trying to prove? Notice base override remote shutdown in 7 seconds. Notice base override remote shutdown in 6 seconds. So much, Mercury. Notice base override remote shutdown in 5 seconds. But give me a little credit. Notice base override remote shutdown in 4 seconds. 3 seconds. I have much higher ambitions than just being a bitch. Error. IFF sequence missing. Notice base override cancelled. I almost got worried for a sec. Lol. Welcome assigned pilot. Full permissions granted. Saturn, I'm going to die and it will be your fault. Oh, come on. I'll get this to the moon safe and sound. And let the Severance project be complete. I'll be very good, maybe, and do everything I'm supposed to, maybe. I know I'm the second choice, but they'd rather have that than nothing, right? Very generous of me, isn't it? They will not accept that. They will sort of have to, though, won't they? If Command didn't want me to steal one, they shouldn't have benched me indefinitely. Warning, emergency launch initiated. Let me know when he starts admitting it. Warning, hostile launch, catapult locks on. High risk of damage to your ship self. Geez, now they're just being needy. Mercury, isn't it just the worst when someone who doesn't care anymore starts clinging just because you found someone new? Notice, prepping weapon systems. Notice, electrotoxin levels surging. Notice, weapons operational. So gross, lol. Warning, emergency launch initiated. I can't believe I really did it. I really did it. Everyone who said if I was good, I'd get my chance again, sure was a liar. I got away, and I've got a ship, and she's all mine. You're beautiful. I want to know everything about you. I miss this so much. Much better than the test machines when I was in the academy. It's a cat girl, Mac. I didn't see that before. Or maybe I did. Maybe I noticed and didn't remark on it. She is beautiful. She is beautiful. She's a wicked machine with a lot of secrets, and just as giddy as her pilot to be free. She's extremely responsive, eager to do everything Saturn wants. You're even worth reading the manual for. What's in you? You're not hiding anything from me, are you? But Saturn already knows everything in the manual, and more. It's a very cagey document that doesn't do the ship justice, and is certainly hiding something. There's plenty of information on how to use her electromagnetic poisons, and how to cheat distance and gravity, and all of that is fun. But none of that tells her the first thing about how to be a ship. This is useless. How can this help diagnose anything when they don't know the first thing about being a ship? So wrong. Way too dry. That's not what it's like at all. It's a body that's also a soul. It means exactly what it is. That's why it's small, curved in wicked edges in some places, but curved in soft ways elsewhere. Sharp claws and deadly tail, but cute enough to hug. Yeah, that's a cat. It's a body that's also a soul. Huh. That line feels important. Like, that does just make sense with what I've ultimately understood the ship selves to be. Like, the body you're in is important. Like, a body is not just a shell. It's not just an inert thing that happens to contain some essence of who you are. By the nature of inhabiting a body, that reflects on you and changes who you are as a person. So it's not at all surprising or strange to have the notion that the body you're inhabiting changes your personhood or identity or whatever specific expression that you want to have. But soul is an interesting one to kind of have there, because that's going even slightly further, because soul sometimes can be used as a sort of expression of the kind of abstract but almost inherent and like secret's the wrong word, but kind of the deep inner self. But this is kind of insinuating that the idea that the shell, mech, ship self, this kind of external body is a soul. But it says a soul. It doesn't say, is it supposed to imply that it is Saturn's soul, or that it has a soul in and of itself, and that kind of Saturn in this ship self with its own soul has a unique kind of expression, has a unique kind of personhood, has a unique soul that is maybe even made by two combined. I like that line. The rest of it is pretty much saying, oh, it's like a cat. It's kind of nice, cuddly, but also it can really fuck you up. It could probably seriously injure you. If it wants to. Deadly tail is funny though too. I guess that's slightly more scorpion than cat. Also, I know we basically did know this from the previous group, but I do love just immediately Saturn has just stolen this. Basically because she was being mentioned. It's like, well, I just don't have to be though. I'm just taking the mech. Bye. So perfectly suited for Saturn. One has to understand exactly why they wouldn't give it to her. Yeah, I feel like that's probably going to be a significant plotline for this run. Really perfect. Fits better than a human body. Uh-huh. That's reason enough to disobey everyone and run off with it, isn't it? Oh, speaking of. More threatening emails from Iapetus. Missing me already. I gave him a perfectly good deal. For someone who always goes on about mutually beneficial arrangements, he's really having trouble seeing the big picture. And the time it takes him to realize that, I'm sure I can find something fun to do in this system. Time to test you out and see if it's really true. Can you give me everything I want, down to the last drop? I'm not looking at the email just yet because there's something I wanted to mention. Oh yeah, given the metaphor involved and the themes involved, I'm only just now realizing how loaded it is to decide that you don't get to have this body. We've picked it for somebody else. This other pilot is going to have this body, this ship self. Sure, maybe it feels like it's very suited to you, but we as authority figures have decided that no, someone else is going to have this. And that Saturn has to fight to get access to it, forcibly take that ship self for herself, because she just knows it's right, even if the people who arbitrarily get to decide this on her behalf disagree. Yeah, so this is the same email. These are the same emails as before. I'm not going to read them out like the same way I did before, but I am still going to read over this email and future emails basically when it's the same stuff, and if there's anything I have new thoughts about, I'll comment on it, but I'll probably otherwise just cut these things out. I'll just either have very little footage of me staring at the screen or entirely skip to the next part where there's something relevant. So I do have one thought here about bringing the ship self string of pearls to the atmosphere of Cronus, blah 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 blah. The whole set piece at the end of the game. It's only now occurring to me that it's not based on my choice that was kind of the pivotal action of the ending. I'm pretty sure that is just going to be what the climax turns around regardless of who you side with, whether it happens or it's prevented or whatever. Because I guess the string of pearls itself is the ship self that can cause the change, that can cause whatever happens, depending on exactly how it works. Like, it is instigating whatever change you choose at the end, or lack of change, I guess. Day 1. Ooh. I like this funky UI. Definitely feel like it was made sense to do Lunaterra first, so I can see how this loop is different. I'm assuming because of the hacking. I would like the Windows 10 skin made by Saturn. Please make that DLC. Okay, these are 2 spicy emails immediately. Subject: your apparent promotion. Origin: Celestial Mechanics Division Lead. Author: Iapetus. Gonna have to have the smarmiest ass voice for him. Actually, I want to check really quick. Okay, I get to talk to Mercury more. That's good. I just want to see who that would be. Good job, Saturn. There's no point in being angry with you, so I'll choose to be proud of you instead. I'll refrain from having you sunk, since that's counterproductive to our intentions for that unit. You were a reserve candidate after all, so you'll do fine. Try not to make it too much of a pain in the ass for me. I'll have Mercury reassigned to you, since he apparently doesn't have a say in the matter. How nostalgic. The 2 of you had so much potential. Well, he knows how to do his job at least. Do your best to not get the string of pearls sunk. We'll absolutely wash you out of the biological interface and reassign you permanently if we get the chance. So prove you're competent enough, and neither of us will have wasted our time. Iapetus, Division Lead, Celestial Mechanics. So we pretty much know Iapetus' deal already and how he sucks, but I'll appreciate the additional context. Subject: truce ending effective immediately. Oh, this is from Halamede. Admittedly, we might have to do Pluto's Run to talk to Halamede, because I'm pretty... I feel like that actually might go up there, but maybe not. We'll see. Origin: Native Sphere Mass Communication. Author, Memorial Foundation Existential Safety. To all members of the former Memorial Foundation Native Sphere Existential Research Division, now known as Celestial Mechanics, this message serves as a formal acknowledgement that this branch has violated our trust and broken the provisions of the 1981 Memorial Foundation Consensus by violating Clause 3. Don't know how I said that. The development of a variable gravity engine, and Clause 7. Installation of a variable gravity engine into the ship self, string of pearls. Celestial Mechanics will no longer be listed as part of Memorial Foundation. They will be formally relisted as an independent entity and considered a true existential threat by Memorial Foundation Native Sphere Existential Safety. We are still offering forgiveness, so please defect as soon as possible while the appeal grace period is still in effect. Please otherwise expect tidal retaliation for existential endangerment of human culture. Halamede, Princess, Memorial Foundation Native Sphere Existential Safety. God, just outright stating, we have reclassified you as a problem, an enemy faction, a threat to existential safety. Outright saying, we've decided you're an existential threat, so beg for forgiveness now, and we could reclassify you as no longer external to humanity. I can't imagine what the ending... I really do want to know what the ending of Memorial Foundation looks like, but I hate it. I also do just like the sentence, please otherwise expect tidal retaliation for existential endangerment of human culture. It's a lot, but we know what it means now. Oh, yeah, one thing, not really from this email, I just realized, I hope we get more of an actual explanation of celestial mechanics as a concept, because it was alluded to in the previous run of the fact that celestial mechanics as a phrase is literally about how the kind of the base level particles, how they function and how this all works. And I would like to know that, even if it might not come up. Saturn status is insufferable horror creature. Forward all complaints to Mercury. Mercury on the bridge is a boy in space on purpose. Consummate bridge bunny, not responsible for Saturn. Okay, I need to make sure to make these voices distinct because I probably made them a little bit too close. Don't talk to me. You literally messaged me first, you nerd. OMG. Harpy. Come on, BB. Well, I'm going to have difficulty figuring out when I should do it as proper text speak and when I should just... Because, yeah. Come on, baby. I'm sorry. What can I do to make it up to you? Make it up to you. Give back the ship. Come on, I'm obviously not doing that. Please, I'm begging you, listen to reason. You have so much left to live for. Oh, Mercury, come on. We both know that's not true. What do you want from me? I do need to distinguish these voices more. A list of girls who will shoot me out of orbit? God! Anyways, don't be a crybaby. I'm fine. I think I just need to do a more nervous voice for Mercury. I think that's the trick. Saturn, you are extremely wrong if you think that there's a chance I am at all worried about you. If you come back, all will be forgiven. But you need to bring it back. Mercury, it's fun playing, but I don't think you've been listening at all. Mercury, it's not that ship anymore. It's me. Mercury, you wouldn't ask me to give up my own self, would you? I'm sailing on a ship of myself now, and I'm not giving it up until gravity drags me back, kicking and screaming. I can't deal with you. Aww, TYBB less than 3, kiss kiss. You are a nightmare, and I'm giving up trying to save you from yourself. I love you. I hate you so much. You can't stay mad at me. I can, and it's horrible, but my revenge will come because literally nobody... But my revenge will come because literally everyone else in the universe can. Oh darn. Guess I should have fun while it lasts. Saturn, if you defect, I cannot protect you. Iapetus is furious, and he's going to come personally for you if you don't come back. I told you I'd do all the missions. What, don't you believe me, lol? Obviously not. Lol, fair. Okay, let me ask you this. Do you think I'd ever give up on the eversion project? Go on. Iapetus wanted us to fight for a new self beyond the ship self, but not even get a taste until the end? Fuck that. My house now. Tell me which of the two of us you trust less, Mercury. Channel closed. I do love the line. I thought it was going to be near the end, which is why I didn't say anything there. I'm sailing on a ship of myself now. Now I'm not giving it up until gravity drags me back, kicking and screaming. I mean, that's a tweet in and of itself. Okay. So yes, so we have 2 missions here. Saturn Return in the strange gravity of the abandoned Daphne lab. Saturn lies in wait for the looming threat of Pluto's mysterious ship. But what are they after? And will they get it? That's new? But Joyride Killjoy is the first mission we did with Lunaterra and Saturn. So I'm pretty sure that's going to be repeat content, and probably even a straight repeat, because I am not siding with Memorial Foundation regardless. So I'll do that one first, because I'm probably going to either fast forward through it, cut it. Like I will play through it at a normal pace myself, but the actual amount of footage is probably going to be minimal that you end up seeing. Launch. Oh, well this at least is going to be... Huh. Mercury looks like less of a nerd than I was expecting. But okay. Please tell me again how long you're going to be engaged in this. May I stress again, incredibly dangerous, giant waste of time. Until they start sending someone interesting after me, Mercury. The whole fleet would be after you if you hadn't damaged the entire launch hangar when you stole that. Could they even take me out when I'm flying this thing? No. But it wouldn't stop him from trying. And let me stress, this info packet is a gift purely to prevent your ship self from falling into enemy hands, and not an indication of any sort of forgiveness. Let me worry about Iapetus, Mercury. He's gonna be a lot less grumpy when I clear the way for us and celestial mechanics to return to the native sphere. I've got it all figured out. You absolutely don't, but okay. Did you read the info packet? Ace Memorial Foundation pilot Lunaterra in hot pursuit with escorts. Planned an attack on the lab. Arrived after you escaped. Do not engage under any circumstances. Boring. But this part was good. I don't expect you to control your impulses, but even given that you're just like that, She is the last person you should be trying to fight on purpose. Sounds like I should definitely fight her on purpose, right? I hate you. Aw, come on. The carrier's never going to make it out of the system if I don't. You don't know how to pilot your ship, and she's a veteran since the Cold War. You're going to get yourself captured and humiliated, and the ship trashed. So you're saying there's no downside? Why are you doing this to me? And she's 6'1", huh? Your attention to detail is so useful sometimes. You're using me to cruise? Your taste is so awful. Ugh, I hate you. Oops, looks like one of her escorts is in range. Sorry, gotta go. Surprise is all I've got, you know? Yeah, okay, so this officially marks that we are watching the old scene from before. The machine has many mysteries the manual doesn't explain, and Saturn is still learning them. I do like the implication of the idea that the manual, there's ostensibly a manual that tells you how a body works, but it's not nearly definitive, and instead Saturn basically has to explore to understand this body, and no one can prescriptively just straight up tell her how it works. So for a choice here, I betray options. It's more fun if they do and Saturn gets embarrassed. It's more fun if they don't and Lunatera gets owned. I guess I should, because I've just skipped to this, I should give proper context and show you what the if they do watch is. It's the question of whether they trust each other or not. Want to trust each other, or is it more fun if we don't? So, if they do trust each other, that's a betrayal. If they don't trust each other and Lunatera gets owned, it is unfortunate that I kind of prefer this option. I guess, yeah, because I will just go with personal, like, character-based choices, because A, that seems right for Saturn, B, I'm not that invested in getting a particular ending, and C, I kind of just want to see how I end up falling when I'm not making incredibly factional-based choices. I think this will basically, again, give me the same stuff as before. I'm not 100% sure about that, though. How was that? Did it hurt? It's just weird. It's weirder that it doesn't hurt. Oh no, of course this is a new scene. I didn't pick this option before. It's easier for Lunatera to cut through the malleable flesh of the string of pearls directly than untangle her from the wrapper. The flesh reforms quickly, so she has to work patiently. String of pearls might be impossible to destroy. Even if Saturn can't land a hit, Lunatera feels like, somehow, she's the one who got lucky. If just this hurts, you'd never be able to fight. Your brain is giving you more nuanced information. You're very sensitive. Lucky. You'll get used to it. If you are serious about next time, think of yourself as something a little bigger. I like that. Being big. I'm glad I trusted you. Stop shaking then, or ask me to go easier. Just a little easier. Of course. Do you remember me yet? I thought you'd remember the name of at least some of the girls you've made out with in supply closets. That face. Your face. Just kidding. But sorry, it was worth it. You weren't kidding about still being dangerous. Every pilot knows you. By both of your reputations. You're definitely Saturn, because no one hated me as much as you. So now I'm curious why you don't anymore. If I tell you, you'll owe me extra. So save it for the next time you catch me. Well, I'll just have to catch you again quick. All free. Now get out before someone catches us. Day 2. Yeah, so a lot of that I mostly ended up skipping because it was exactly the same up until the choice moment. I did pick the different choice, so that was interesting and new stuff. I like Lunaterra basically teaching Saturn how to pilot, at least a tiny bit there. Mail and alerts. Pilot Candidate 7 Mercury interviews. Origin Memorial Foundation Celestial Mechanics. Extracted. Author. Generation 3 pilot intake. Here we go. More about how the pilots put together. But who are we talking to? Mercury? It says... Oh, yes. It says Mercury there. I was just seeing all the M's, but then I see someone say Mercury. Don't worry, it's just a checkup. Historically untrustworthy scenario. It's just questions, I promise. That's not really a great way to set my mind at ease. Let's just answer the questions, okay, wise guy? Fine. Have you experienced a sense of vertigo or loss of balance for a period lasting more than 2 minutes in the last month? No. Have your eating habits changed at all recently? No. No. Mercury, work with me, please. Why? You work with me. If I absolutely promise neither I nor anyone else will do anything at all to stop you from being exactly who you want or from whatever changes you need, will you at least answer my questions? Yet again, a figure of authority withholding someone's ability to be who they want and having the changes they need, going, answer my questions so you can have access to your own personhood. But framing it like they're doing Mercury a favor, framing it almost like it's a gift, but that Mercury is getting in the way of him, of whoever this is, giving him the gift. Fucked up. Sometimes. Maybe. Okay, that's good enough for me. We're just curious if it's a side effect of life in space, or the educational programming of Dr. Nix, or in reference to the behavior of Iapetus. No, that's backwards. Everyone else seems to get to do whatever they want in space. Why is it weird when I do it? We want to test for the effects of space alone, so self-induced changes have to be controlled for. Don't ask what's in my endocrine system. It's my endocrine system. I don't know if that's how you pronounce that. Fine, it's testosterone, and I put it there, because I wanted it there. Is that enough? Well, I guess that is what I needed to know. If you promise not to ask me about it again, I'll give you all the data I cataloged about the changes. Okay, I get it. You're starting to get it. Stop treating me like a girl, and I'll know you've really got it. If you needed any more evidence about the bodies being a metaphor for queer people, and the ship selves being a metaphor for queer bodies, and especially trans bodies, look no further. Especially if you've played We Know the Devil, you'll understand. which makes the thing I was saying earlier about an authority figure withholding access to personhood even worse, especially when they don't even know what they're withholding. Like, they're literally providing a threat for something they don't even understand. They're saying, listen, I don't know what you're doing, but I'll only let you do whatever it is you're doing if you cooperate with me. Subject: recommended tactics. Origin: extracted from Nereid OS. Author: Ship Stealth String of Pearls Documentation. The string of pearls is configured for specific outward expressions of gravity, tidal forces. The dissonant rhythm of this reactor makes peaceful tidal communication risky and difficult. Be cautious despite the range and penetration this unit is capable of. The electromagnetic conductors have liquefied the electrical energy into a corrupting material, a form of theoretical matter that should be used as the primary engagement tool. As a seducer-saboteur model, the unit's functions are inherently insidious. Rather than armor, the plastics are infinitely malleable and regenerate. It is safer to take damage head-on as an opportunity to infect rather than avoid. But the unit can be contained, restrained, and impeded, physically and tidally. This actually says a lot about how the String of Pearls, and by extension how Saturn, socially engages with people in a really interesting way. Like, it is safer to take the hit. It is safer to take the harm, take the damage, and just recover from it, because by taking that hit, you can then retaliate. That says a lot about how Saturn engages in conflicts. And we've seen this happen again and again, where Saturn gets attacked and just lets it happen, and then can just slash at the other person's ship self and basically infect them with the goop, the electromagnetic, or not the electromagnetic, there's a different word for it. I don't know if they used it here, actually. Maybe it was just electromagnetic, but the pink goop. And yeah, like, rather than having an armor, rather than putting up barriers and refusing to be vulnerable, is just very malleable, in the sense that kind of Saturn just lets stuff slide off of her. We'll just accept it and then just go on the offensive in response. And often in a very teasing way too. That's kind of how I would read the corrupting stuff. It's not like getting stabbed, but it is like getting under your skin and kind of, it's like needling people a little bit. Needling's also not quite the right word, but it's just like kind of poking at people. Yeah, that's a better way to think about it. Like kind of poking at little things that they're not bringing up, poking at people's maybe insecurities, vulnerabilities, or things that they're afraid to explicitly acknowledge. Like in that last engagement, where Lunatera just has an offhanded comment about, oh, girls not controlling themselves, and like Saturn kind of picks at that. Like, that's kind of how I understand the corruption that her ship self, String of Pearls, is capable of. Also, the fact that it is configured for specific outward expressions of gravity. Again, underlining the fact that Saturn is very expressive and is very communicative. But this makes peaceful tidal communication risky and difficult. Because she can't just not say things. She really is just going to express things, and people don't always like that. Yeah, I'm sure this is going to be a very serious and sincere emergency. Mercury, listen, it's an emergency. I'm sorry about everything, but it's important. You have to tell Commander that I'm getting so laid. I'm logging off. Bye. I was not fooled for even a second that this would be useful. I feel like maybe he was fooled for a second. Really? Not even for a second? I no longer experience hope as a concept. Now there's a terrible tweet or Facebook status. You freed me from it. Aw, stop, I'm blushing. What do you want from me, Saturn? Do you know any discreet places to make out on Aries? Goodbye, Saturn. Also, here's the test output to date. Saturn, goodbye. Aren't you gonna read me the data analysis? If it is indeed data you are sending this time, and not just nudes. That's rude. I always ask before I send them to you. I don't mind acting as the official art director of Saturn's Nudes, but since you need it so badly and it's substantially less tedious than data analysis. But if you were as punctual about sending data as cockpit selfies, I would have a lot more data to report. Why are you so incredulous all the time? You stole the prototype, might I remind you? Question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark. You can't just continue the field testing as if nothing happened! Exclamation mark, exclamation mark, exclamation mark, exclamation mark, exclamation mark. Or not. Because why would you do anything you didn't want to do? Winky emoticon. What are you planning? Extremely winky emoticon. Ugh, fine. They've been dying for it anyway. Cool, how'd I do? Question mark? Ugh, this is not bad. It's pretty useful. He typed through tears. Don't rub it in. I can't believe your ship self's expanded so much already. What have you been doing with it? I think I have been hinting very clearly how. I instantly regret this question. You're supposed to test the prototype in combat. Same difference. I can't believe we invented a ship designed to get into trouble and didn't think, oh, Saturn is the obvious choice for this. We both know why. You were an even more obvious choice than me. Fuck Iapetus for throwing us both out like trash. Come on, aren't you a little happy to see a little havoc in his perfect garden? I'll be looking forward to you collecting new data. Attaboy. Channel closed. They both know why they got thrown out. I don't know yet. Based on what I know of Iapetus, I'm assuming he was a bit of a shit about just, I don't know, whether it was dissent or just a lack of enthusiastic agreement. Something along those lines, I imagine. But I'm curious if there was a more specific and concrete incident. So now we've got a whole new scene with Pluto. Saturn return. In the strange gravity of the abandoned Daphne lab, Saturn lies in wait for the looming threat of Pluto's mysterious ship. But what are they after? And will they get it? Launch. What do you mean, I can feel her presence? Please do not try to sound that cool. I can feel her presence. Everyone can feel her presence. I can feel it right now. How could you even possibly ignore something like that? Shut up. I mean, I can feel it physically. Oh. Wait, what, like now? Like, I feel like I'm gonna throw up. I feel like I'm spinning upside down and can't stop. Are you sure you haven't somehow concussed yourself or given yourself gravity sickness from all of the damage you've managed to inflict on yourself in the past 12 hours? Yes, and it's on top of all that, and also shut up. String of Pearls is feeding me sensory information on the direct line. I'm a human being with 5 senses, and she's trying to cram a dozen more into me. By direct line, you are in fact talking about the extremely creepy physical interface connection between you and the String of Pearls, correct? It really, really is, right? It's truly incredible how we agree about everything and still feel the opposite about it. Is this why you keep hesitating before giving me intel? Yes, because you're going to do the opposite of what you should do with it, but I also can't not tell you because you might die. So running support for you is an incredibly anxiety-inducing affair. It must be hard. Thank you for acknowledging it. So you're gonna tell me what's after me? You've already figured it out, haven't you? But yes, it's that Kratos Grace's masterwork. Celestial mechanics traded the knowledge for how to finish String of Pearls in exchange for what they needed to finish the Chron Macula. It would be pretty funny if they got us this way in the end. It's headed directly to the lab. We've already evacuated on the capital ship, but you are its highest priority. Should I play bait? If anything, it's more important for you to get back to the native sphere first. In order for us to make contact, we need the String of Pearls. We believe if you hide in the abandoned Daphne lab, you can use the decaying gravity furnace for cover. Ah, that's sensible. But bait sounds like a lot more fun, you know? Really? Oh, come on. Iapetus must think their pilot is a real idiot if she's going to waste her time on a wild goose chase like that. He wouldn't just sacrifice you like that. He would. There must be backups for making contact. Just because I'm the easiest option doesn't mean I'm the only one. He's testing to see if I'm worth investing in or just going to get myself killed. Why run? Why not have it out with her? I bet she's thinking the same thing too. Be careful, Saturn. If you can tell what they're thinking, they can tell what you're thinking. Please. If I really could do something like that, they wouldn't have kicked me out of the pilots. Then how do you know the pilot's a she? Because boys can't pilot. Daphne, the tiny shepherd moon, so small it barely earns the name, tumbles through the Keller gap, ruffling the rings of the planet it orbits. It houses the last official laboratory of Earth's decommissioned space program, training ground of failures like Saturn and special girls like Pluto. Saturn remembers it feeling cramped, anxious, and scary. No, wait. Pluto remembers it that way. Saturn remembers when it used to feel so special to be chosen, a candidate for the last generation of pilots. But didn't Pluto feel that way too? Sometimes two things are true. In this place, gravity is quietly degenerating, and distances are becoming ambiguous between past and present, between me and you. The Daphne lab seems smaller to Saturn now, though not as tiny as it feels to Pluto. And that's obvious. No longer people-sized, she tears through it like worms in an apple. But there's a much bigger worm here, and she doesn't know anymore if this was a good idea. What was a good idea? Saturn doesn't have any ideas, she's just trying to hide. Even though there's no place where you cannot be felt by me. Alert, tidal resonance IFF confirms enemy. Warning, gravitational hazard. Danger, pressure exceeding safe range. I know, it's extremely exciting. Stop making me so nervous. Supermassive, small enough to hide in this complex, but with a dual reactor denser than the entire moon compressed into the head of a pin. An hour ago, and Saturn felt the gravitational pull of something so big and so close and so powerful that the interior of her cockpit creaked with the pressure, and her head, heart, and eyes welled up with tears. Something that couldn't be anyone other than Pluto. Cool. She must be pretty big, huh? So why is she so hard to find? Saturn has no idea. Why do I have the feeling someone's laughing at me? No one is laughing at Saturn. The lab's been abandoned for years. But Pluto, wherever she is, giggles. Not in a mean way. She really does think it's cute. I haven't thought about Pluto in a long time. Oh man, it really would be funny if she was in that monster. Well, now someone is laughing at Saturn. Hey. Now I know someone's here. I can feel you listening. But I can hear you too. And I can catch you. You're not the only one who can fuck with the narrative. So, do I want to choose the loyal option, which is narrow escape, or do I want to choose mutually assured destruction, which will favor Cradle's graces? I think Saturn would prefer a fight. And a fight and a destruction, so I'm gonna go with this. It's easiest to catch someone. If you don't care, you might get caught yourself. Besides, if you want to drive someone wild, you've got to show them you're worth catching. And that you're good enough to catch them, too. The lab is dark. The malfunctioning lights cast an eerie glow. Dying culture, without gravity to hold it together. But she can hear the faint laughter rippling in the gravity, and where it's coming from. When you don't know the controls, mashing all the buttons at once is just as good. Got you. It's a hit. Her claws sink in. They tremble in the pressure. Whatever they've sunk into is bigger than belief. The Krun-Makula towers over Saturn. Pluto's ship is so big it barely fits in the complex, but it's only a speck compared to how big it feels. Supermassive enough to warp local spacetime, humming and vibrating with nebula dust. Incredibly gentle. Or she would have destroyed Saturn and the whole complex without even trying. Oh wow, you got me! No matter what size it appears, in the truest, most real sense of size, the ship is bigger than this moon, than anything Saturn can imagine. String of Pearls quickly flits away, but Krun-Makula's grip is on her before she can twitch. And I've got you, Saturn. I really was surprised to see you like this. Cool, right? I've got poison there, too. Want to see if you're still the top weirdo psychic mutant in space? Oh wow, sounds really cool. But I don't know if you're ready yet. Wanna bet? Sure. The string of pearls screeches and buckles as the dust ignites and a tiny portion of Pluto's tidal forces slam into her. Warning, gravity hazard. Had enough? You kidding? Okay, we can turn it up. Whoa, that sure is insane. It feels like my brain is melting into the universe. You're the one who wanted to show off. You don't have to do that to endear yourself to me. But if you really want to impress me, you're going to have to do better than that. Yeah? You're really still not impressed, even by this? By what? Ooh, that does sting. It spreads like a poison, even through metal. It jumps like electricity, but drips like a liquid. Pink and impossible, and spreading quickly through Krun Makula's body. So you're not just full of risky, bad ideas. That makes me happy. I won't shut you down too hard. Okay, you win. You gonna be good now? Okay. So, what did you want to talk about? As Cradle graces glittering psychic death machine, you definitely have more important things to do than go out of your way to bully me for no reason, right? Oh, that's right. That man and the fleet are escaping, aren't they? Hope you don't mind falling for this trap. Trap? You? Silly, I know you're more important than that. More than catching the rest of the Celestial Mechanics fleet? I knew this would be fun, and you knew it too. I am absolutely delighted about you doing that, just to be clear, so you don't have to read my mind to roast me about it. I can't read minds. You know that's not how it works. But I also don't need to know that. But I did want to know how the biggest overachiever of my juniors turned into such a bad girl. If you really remembered me, you'd remember I was never good. I do remember you. Even if you're not that good at being bad, do you know what you're doing? With that machine that's so dangerous we don't even want to find out what it does. I think you answered your own question about why I'm keeping it. Are you gonna stop me then? But you don't want to? Hey, stop, don't pry into me. If you're pitying me, I'll make you regret it. Not all of us come out perfect like you. Some of us get thrown out before they see any use at all. I won't pity you. I really would have torn this machine apart. But now that I'm here, gifted little mutant to gifted little mutant, I can't bear to. Because some of us just haven't been thrown out yet. Lab-grown girls like us should stick together. I might still make you regret it. Winning isn't my most important task, it's not yours either. Are you sure about that? You're not who I'm worried about. It's only your boss I can't forgive. Oh, I love hearing that. Tell me more. I'm getting a crush already. Regretting it now? Don't worry. There's nothing you can make me regret. I did enjoy, I enjoy how Pluto's just no-selling literally all of Saturn's little jabs. Like, is this gonna make you embarrassed? Is this gonna make you uncomfortable? And Pluto's just like, no, I'm fine. I'm good here. Good vibes only. Yes, so these interstitial emails setting up new acts and stuff too, also the same it seems. So again, I'll stop if I think of anything to say about these, but otherwise I'll just continue on. I guess one thing about this email is that it is underscoring the idea that the Memorial Foundation do care, even if their solution is to basically drag everyone back to Earth It's not that they don't give a shit about the people who are in space, it's that they think they're better off being on Earth. Which I don't agree with, but I at least can understand there's a sincerity to their alignment, as opposed to a kind of... There's a sincerity to their alignment that makes me understand why one could side with them, even if it won't be me. Day 3. Ooh. 0832423843200 root corruption. Exclamation mark at exclamation mark dollar sign open parentheses close parentheses star exclamation mark at dollar sign. Error. Mission parameters not detected. Mission results needed for gravitational slingshot permissions. Error. Navigation shortlist not found. Question mark. Manual inject / mission results.txt. Mission parameters found. All results perfect and amazing. Wow. Thank you, Saturn. Flight path generating. Fleet path Cronus orbit. Refuel on planet Ares. Lagrange colony pass. Classified operation. Earth's moon. New standing orders coming in. Ares. Guard celestial mechanics fleet refueling on Ares oxygen ocean. Ares. Stay out of trouble and do not engage Memorial Foundation troops patrolling in immediate vicinity. Accept orders? No. Error. Cannot proceed. Manual inject. Accepted. Normalizing gravitational slingshot effect. Prepare for immediate launch to Ares. Okay. So I think this is where we can leave it for the first episode. Definitely getting through it at a faster pace, but yes, I'm enjoying the further context on Saturn as a character. And the little tidbits that now make more sense to me when I remember which faction is which. Please do support the creators, Pillowfight Games. You can buy this and several other visual novels in this style from their site. I have links in the description for the different stores you could go to. Thank you for watching. See you next time.